Video, I'm going to talk and go through a ramp warm up. Ramp stands for raise, activate, mobilize, and potentiate. But let's start off with going through the benefits of a warm up. So, the first benefit is increasing your temperature of the whole body, including muscle temperature as well. This increases the flexibility of the muscles and joints within the body and increases the pliability of ligaments and tendons as well. It also, with this, it speeds up the ability of a muscle to contract. So this is really good for sort of any athlete really, especially in team sports or even just when a runner is warming up, because the faster their muscles are going to be able to contract, the faster they're going to be able to go with, or faster for the same effort, or faster with less effort. So yeah, it's a huge benefit of that happening during the warm up. Heart rate's going to increase, meaning the blood flow is going to get to the working muscles faster, and the oxygen's going to be delivered efficiently. The main teaching points of the ramp warm up, first of all, going to the raising part, it's just about basically increasing the temperature and heart rate, because likelihood is you get to the start of a game, or well, you can use this warm up even before a training session, but say if it's for example, I'm doing this warm up on a middle distance track runner, and the benefits for them is, it's just going to increase that raising part. It's going to get them in tune with their body. Like I said, it's going to raise the temperature, raise the heart rate, but it's just doing light activity that's specific ideally to the what's going to involve in the competition. So for a middle distance track runner, it might be just pretty much going for a jog for 5 to 10 minutes, really light, just helping them get in that mindset, before kicking the body into action, really. Next part of the warm up, going back to the raising part, it's more of a benefit mentally as well, because you're starting to get in the zone, so it's increasing focus. But activate is the next part, the ramp warm up, activating the key muscle groups involved in the activity, especially the main muscle groups that you're going to be using. So for a middle distance track runner, it's mainly the lower body that you're going to be using. So it's about activating the lower, especially the legs, so the glutes, because they're heavily underused by runners and cyclists, and the most powerful muscle in the body. So it's about activating the glutes, getting the hamstrings nice and loose and lengthened, so the stride's going to be efficient, and just loosening off that lower body, as well as activation. Potentially as well, for a runner, you want to activate the core as well, because this is going to help with keeping good posture. And again, this is all going to, the activation part is all going to help in reducing injury as well, for the runner, as well as ensuring their muscles are firing up properly and they're going to get the best out of themselves. So the next part of the ramp warm-up is mobilise. This is simply loosening off the muscles, of a way of not doing static stretching. A static stretching or PNF stretching can actually, it's been recently proven to actually decrease muscle strength. So yeah, you don't want to be static, doing static stretching at all, really, because you're going to lose power and efficiency of the muscle that you're stretching. So it's a no-go. And plus, often, when you've got to that stage, you're not fully warmed up. Your body's at a good point in terms of temperature, heart rate's increased, but there's still a risk of, if you're doing static stretching and doing too much sort of real deep stretches, there is still a risk of injury. So it's just about, this is about moving the muscles, mobilizing them, so it helps relaxing and again reducing that risk of injury, as well as opening up. So for a middle distance track run, it's about opening up the hips, lengthening the hamstrings, releasing tension anywhere in that lower body. Especially the calves can get quite tight for runners, so it's about reducing that tightness down there. Again, massive injury reduction, reducing the chance of injury. And the final part of the warm-up is the icing on top of the cake, really. It's potentiate, and that's where you're basically doing sport-specific drills. So obviously we could have not done a jog at the start for that, for a middle distance track runner. We could have done other forms of getting the heart rate up steady, including you can do other drills that involve sort of moving, jogging on the spot, side steps, but potentially we really need to be like running and almost getting to race pace, because this is the time of the warm-up to the last bit where we need to be getting the heart rate up or within 10 beats of what you're going to be hitting in the race. Or for a footballer, it's about really hitting some short sprints, making sure that when the whistle blows for the start of the match, they're going to be on it, and they're not going to, when they do hit full speed, they're not going to, a muscle's not going to just pull on them, or they're not going to feel slow and heavy. This potentiate part of the warm-up really does enable you to get in the zone and get ready for what you're going to put your body through, and so you're familiar with the effort, and it helps switch on the neuromuscular system, meaning the neuromuscular system is that part of the body that you're using for maximal effort, anaerobic activity. So most of the warm-up has been aerobic, but this is the time to switch to the anaerobic engine and really kickstart the body and get that heart rate up high. So just to quickly go through it again, raising part of the warm-up is jogging on the spot, side steps. You can do leg swings, but I prefer to do that in the mobilizing section. But activate, we want to be doing squats, especially because they're great for activating the glutes, and as well as the glutes, they activate the core and increase the core stability. Walking lunges, they're great for activating the quadriceps and the hamstrings as well as the glutes. You can also do glute bridges. They're great as well for activating the glutes. Mobilizing, for a runner, we are using the upper body still. We're using the arms, so arm circles. We want to loosen off the neck so there's no tension, so do a bit of neck rotation, torso rotation, so we're not tight in that, that lower torso, hip area. And yeah, leg swings are really great for opening up the hips, as well as ankle rotation, just to sort of loosen up the ankles, so there's no risk of spraining ankles when you start really upping the pace. And then potentiate is about strides, really getting them strides up to race pace. Potentially karaokes, they're great for sort of really getting the heart rate up. And just quick feet, run on the spot quicker, at a quicker pace than what you were doing in the raising part of the warm-up. But yeah, the benefit of a warm-up is just, like I said, getting the heart rate up, increasing the respiratory and cardiac rates. When stroke volume increases, we're getting that greater oxygen delivery to the working muscles that will help us perform at our best. And then the stretching and mobility part is really going to help reduce that chance of injury. So yeah, that's just a short video of me going through sort of the ramp warm-up, and then I'll talk you through the exercises that I'll do in the ramp warm-up as well. So in this video, as this is following the first part of the video where I was sort of explaining, going through the benefits of the ramp warm-up and what it exactly is. This is a shortish video of briefly going through the ramp warm-up, some exercises that you can use. I struggled with editing, and in doing so I've deleted some footage of some key parts of the warm-up, but I've still got enough to go through it. So we started off with the raising part of the warm-up, which is about getting the heart rate up and increasing that muscle temperature, and increasing the focus in the mind. So we started off with some, for the middle distance runner, we started off with jogging on the spot, and then progressed to some side steps. These are great for increasing the heart rate and getting that blood flow to the working muscles. With side steps, it's just about staying relatively focused during it, because you can end up veering off and not having the best form. So it's just about keeping a straight posture, keeping focused on focusing forward, because you can see in this video I'm actually like losing focus on the exercise, and every time I look where I'm looking forward, I start veering nearly outside of the lane in the track. So it's about looking forward, which is hard because you're going in when you're looking forward, going in doing side steps, you can't see what's actually in the direction that you're going. So yeah, it's just but at this stage it's about keeping the intensity low, because again, it's the first part of the warm-up and we haven't got that that pliability in the muscles yet, or the speed of contraction. So we just want something to again get that heart rate up, but doing light activity, as well as helping focus our mind and body. So I used also the ladder in this exercise. This is again a simple activity, just jogging. No real height in the knees. You don't need to, as long as you sort of moving the body faster than walking pace, because the heart rate's still gonna be elevated. You can progress this exercise during the potentiate phase of the warm-up by increasing the speed, and that will really get the muscles firing for the middle distance track runner, and increase the speed of the contraction of the muscles. So yeah, this is me going through it. Again, you can increase the height of the knees, because you can see that is an area for improvement in the video. But as I have a current ankle injury, I don't want to put too much force through it, so I kept it quite low. Anyway, the next exercise we go into is activation phase, the warm-up. So I chose to do some bodyweight squats. So when you're performing a bodyweight squat, yeah, it's a great exercise for increasing the activation of the muscle group. You've just got to make sure that your knees don't go above 90, below 90 degrees. As you can see, that's when my backside is lowering down. You can see the angle is roughly 90 degrees, and I'm getting the depth in the squat. So you want that, as well as a straight spine and keeping your heels planted on the floor, and then slowly, but I chose to slowly pause this movement and at the bottom of the squat, and then driving up just increases the glutes working. You're really getting them firing, as well as lunges. Again, it's keeping a straight spine, and the forward lunges help sort of work the quadriceps and hamstrings, as well as your core stabilizer muscles, keeping the posture really good, as well as opening up the hips as well, increasing that range of motion. So yeah, another great exercise in the activation phase of the warm-up, and helping them fire when we start using them in the race. So yeah, these are just forward lunges, nice, slow and controlled. No need to really up the intensity. It's just about focusing on making the movement as best you can, and really helping them work, getting the correct form really. Before we move into the the mobilizing phase, which is sort of moving stretches, not PNF, as that is showing, as I mentioned in the earlier part of the video, that has proven to reduce the muscle strength and increase chance of injury. So you want to stay away from static stretching before before activity. Afterwards, it's great for increasing your recovery, increasing the decreasing muscle soreness, but before exercise, in part of the warm-up, you want to be sticking to mobilizing exercises as well as moving exercises that aren't really overstretching the muscles. So these are sort of knee holds. Knee holds, you just basically want to pick up your knee and hold the leg up, and try and maintain balance, making sure the core's engaged. The next exercise we go on to is leg circles, or some people call them knee circles. This is about increasing the range of motion in the hip area, and this is crucial for a runner, as this is going to help increase the stride length, increase the pliability of the hips in that groin area, meaning they're going to reduce the chance of pulling any muscles in that area and get into the race feeling tight. As the worst thing that can happen is you start upping the pace and you don't have the stride length, or you feel like every time you're overstretching. So these are great for loosening up and increasing that range of motion. Again, this is a big part in helping that reduction of injury. And next, a lot of runners neglect the upper body, and you're still using your arms, you're still engaging your core and your arms. You want to keep when you're running, you want to keep the upper body relaxed, letting the legs do the talking, but at the same time you want to use the arms to drive the power. Every time you're taking a stride length. So and the shorter the distance, arguably the more important this is, as you're using your arms probably a lot more. Well, you are using your arms a lot more. For a 100-meter track runner, a lot of their performance is through their arms driving the speed. Yet for a marathon runner, maybe not so much, as it's about keeping relaxed and not having your arms flopping everywhere. But here we're going on to some ankle circles. Ankle circles, again, that part of the body, especially running's high impact, so you're putting the ankles under a lot of stress. So this helps loosen them up, gets them ready for some high impact load, and just overall, again, gone back to it again, helps increase that reduce that chance of injury. And just reducing that chance of having an ankle strain, or even at worst a soft tissue injury, by increasing that range of motion in the joints, and extensibility of the muscle, and increasing the pliability of the lower body. The final movement is sort of an activation as well as a mobilization. It's the final sort of exercise I've got in this category. It's a lunge forward, but we're stretching out the spine, we're keeping it in a moving motion, using our core stabilizer muscles to as we're engaging the core, as well as opening up the hips, making sure we've got a straight spine and a 90-degree angle at the hips, at the knee, sorry, as well as the hips, as well as, not letting that knee veer over. If that knee's not in line with your toe, you're gonna increase your chance of injury, increase your chance of injury in the warm-up before the actual race. So yeah, that's sort of something to be aware of. Again, these exercises are done at quite a slow pace. I'm focusing on the form rather than pure speed of the contraction of the muscle. As when we go on to the potentiate exercise, which is the one exercise that I've got is for this track runner is strides, and that is really developing that neuromuscular system, getting the heart rate up, really striding out. We're on the track. I did have some footage of me doing karaoke's as well as some high skips, but that has been deleted by my awful editing skills. So this part of the warm-up, we're really increasing the coordination of our muscles. We're really activating the mind, getting us focused, increasing that breathing and heart rate up, getting us in the zone, as well as it's a drill that is so specific to what we're going to be doing, so you can get a feel of how you're going to feel in the race. And if you're feeling good, this is the part of the warm-up where confidence can increase. Your confidence can increase, increasing the belief in you as you're feeling good. But yeah, this is just about really I just wanted to end the video of the ramp warm-up, finishing off with going through I did get some footage of the raise part of the warm-up, so this is the warm-up that is a nice steady bit of exercise. This is specific to the middle distance runner, as we are jogging on a treadmill. Ideally, obviously this would be done outside, but I lost that footage, as well as exercises in the potential phase of the warm-up. But this is a pre-recorded video of me on a treadmill going through the raise part of the warm-up. This is just, like I said earlier in the video, it's about increasing blood flow and getting the heart rate up, as well as increasing mental focus. But I lastly wanted to say as well is all the mobilising and by adding bands as well to make to add resistance. So for example, we can activate the glutes a lot easier with bands, as you can add that resistance, meaning the muscles are gonna be working against that resistance, so they can fire efficiently during the run. So yeah, thanks for listening.